Ilya and Lisa. Hi.
Hi guys.
Hello. Thanks,
Hi,
Sergey, for
hi everyone. We are streaming at the end of Sunday, so I'm not expecting that somebody will watch us live. But thanks to podcast and everything we'll do. Short intro. The idea behind these streams is to give Ukrainian startups the place to talk about themselves and be comfortable in presenting. But today's guests are not this kind of startup. We will talk about this a bit later. This podcast also will be available as stream, as podcast is everywhere. And most important thing, there is a QR code over there to call. You need to donate. If you listened and loved it, and if you didn't love it, you need to donate too. In any case, you need to donate. That's how it works right now. So today is a startup. You're still startup. ComeBack Mobility. Ilya, CEO, and Lisa, you are separation officer.
Correct.
Because you have like CTO, operation officer. I don't know.
Sweet.
Yeah. It's a startup thing, So we will talk about your story behind, because you have a bit long story for several years, and also you have a great news because you are in t-shirts of TechStars. We know already what the news are. So let's begin with a tell about what is right now ComeBack Mobility.
Okay, so right now we're rebuilding our business model, redesign everything, and doing like a pilot. Because during the last 3 years, we tried to sell our product to patients, to doctors, to hospitals, to everyone, to DME providers, durable medical equipment providers, special organization that provide medical devices for patients and for um, and for clinics. So yeah, all those target audience was wrong for us because the money are not there. They would like to use our device. They would love to have these outcomes, but unfortunately, they wouldn't pay money.
Okay.
Let me clarify what we actually are working at.
Sure.
Imagine like you have some injury and doctor tells you, okay, leg injury, I mean. Doctor tells you, okay, to recover, you need to put 25% of your body weight on the injured leg during the first week, then 50% of your body weight during the next week, and so on. And natural question is,
How?
yes, how exactly? How do I know it's like 25% of my body weight, right? So doctors can come up with different suggestions. They are suggesting to imagine that you're stepping on the egg without cracking it, that you take your scales and then count what is 25% of your body weight and then memorize how painful it is and then walk
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But they say that your perception of pain can change during the day. So it's like really hard to follow doctor's restrictions without having a device that help you to give a constant feedback. And we are working on this feedback. Even more, most of doctors, more than 80%, and it's proven, are not prescribing this weight bearing algorithm because they know that patients are just unable to follow it without a device. That means that rehabilitation may take up to 8 weeks longer without using this protocol. So this is actually the problem we are targeting. And so we are constructing these devices. We actually produced the first batch. We're providing them, as Ilya said,
To everyone,
to hospitals, to physicians,
physical therapist clinics, try to patients directly, like everyone happy, but nobody pays, especially in the US when everyone like understand that everything have to be covered by insurance providers.
I know. Yeah, how it's not working in the United States. But you I've heard about you I don't know when, but when Birzdoi joined your as advisor, I don't know high employees, but when he joined on ComeBack Mobility, you need to go to see them. And since then, you've like gone through all Ukrainian funding programs, USF, all of them, and now you were selected into Texas TechStars Health-tech program, as I understand.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
tell
well,
about how you've gotten to TechStars.
actually, my own thought that we are too late for this kind of acceleration because we already produced the industrial batch, and we already passed all the regulations, including FDA, HIPAA
Wow.
compliance, FCC, ISO, quality management systems. All this stuff was pretty hard without advisors, and we paid a lot of money for consultations, and we've done all this stuff, but we still stuck because the sales didn't grow exponentially. And one of my mentor from NYU Langone Health Innovation Lab, he told me, coming to the insurance providers market and creating a new code specific for your device and getting reimbursement, it need to be acceleration, because you need someone who will open all the doors. So you need to participate in this kind of program. And he personally advised me to participate there, and he introduced our product, our startup, to the director of the program, Trey, and Trey invited us. And right now we just 1 week passed in this acceleration program, and we understood that it was the right decision.
Actually, I would like to support you in this decision, because acceleration is you can go to acceleration with TechStars YC, whatever, several times, but the first time is the most important. You need to go. Like the great example for Ukrainian startups were PetCube. They got into YC after not product market fit, but after they generated first million in sales.
Momentum for them. So they created some kind of momentum for them. So they just pushed it towards. So I hope there's going to be a similar situation for us. And as Ilya said, it's a bit easier when you have some connector as a TechStars that can help us to get into the insurance companies and actually disrupt this rehabilitation algorithm, rehabilitation procedures that we already have in the United States.
Yeah, I have some experience with insurance companies in the United States, and they don't understand that to get into like talking with them is the hardest thing ever. And you need some shortcuts, and TechStars is the greatest shortcut, I think. The next greatest shortcut is to go to acceleration program of insurance company.
Yeah, we also applied.
On that, yes.
We applied to someone, and they do provide opportunity to do pilots with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely hard to organize the pilots without this kind of program.
Yeah.
The same thing, in order to penetrate large hospital systems in the US, the average cycle of the deal is 1.5 years.
Yeah. 18 months. It's 18 months. It's the shortest time, unfortunately, to do deals with them.
Yeah, I heard about 7 years penetration time.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So that's huge opportunity for you, and you will be there for 12 weeks, or it's some kind of different?
10 weeks, to be more precise. But maybe we're going to stay a bit longer, because after demo day, probably we would love to close some deals.
Yeah, sure. And is it as always, they will get from you equity plus give you some money?
Yeah,
Is it safe?
Same conditions as for everyone. So we get both money as a safe note and also part of equity.
Yeah. Only one difference could be between their conditions. They say that it's convertible note. that they give could be with two different options with pre-money evaluation 3 million and 5 million. And in order to achieve the 5 million condition, you need to prove that you already raised more than $500,000 investments and have this product. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. So the next large question is, for me personally, I'm always interested in entrepreneurship stories, how you've get to this point, what you like, how you've met as a co-founders, and why you've become entrepreneurs in the first place. And I've looked up your LinkedIn profiles, and both of you are entrepreneurs for a long time. So
let me start, and Lisa will continue from the moment when we met. So I'm several.
You were born in Dnipro.
No, it's more about that's why I'm asking, because you were born is like in the country that were not supporting entrepreneurship at all, and somehow you've become them. That's why I'm interested in.
I would disagree with you because I don't think that Ukraine not support entrepreneurship.
Right
Anymore.
now, I'm too old to
So I do have several businesses before this startup, and I've developed 4 innovative products, and I did one small exit with my last startup. After that, I decided to go to Thailand and realize my childhood dream to become a Muay Thai boxer. And when I came to Kopangan Island in Thailand, I spent 5 months in preparation. And then in my first fight, in the 5th round, I got injured, and the rehabilitation took me 6 months. And that's how I come up with the idea about the medical device for rehabilitation. And because of by that time all my previous projects was software related, I just tried to remember, okay, how can I find a co-founder with technical background and medical device background. And there is one more story that, Lisa, I'd like you to share this.
So we met long before we started this company together, and it also was a funny story because we met in Silicon Valley. I was going through Alchemist Accelerator, and I met one of my investors during the interview mentioned that oh, by the way, do you know Ilya? He's from Ukraine too. And I was like, yeah, sure. We all in Ukraine know each other. Once I left his office, Ilya texted me on LinkedIn, and I realized it's the same person. So we met, I think, the same day or next day.
Yeah, the same day. It was
same day, yeah.
2017, yeah?
2017, yes. And happened to be that we actually were born in the same city, and we have a lot of shared connection. So we kind of knew each other without knowing each other. After that, we went to sauna together with our teams and had a lot of fun. And after that, some years after, we started this company together.
Yeah, in 2021, yeah?
2020.
2020, yes. I texted you and said, here I have an idea about the device. I need a partner.
For boxers, you say device for boxers. And I was like, yeah, no. But then we came up with this other idea with device of rehabilitation. Actually, Ilya did, because Ilya went to the hospitals and he was talking to the doctors, trying to figure out what is the real issue they having. And they said, okay, you know what? If your hand is broken, it's not a big deal, honestly, because you have another hand and you can use it instead. I mean, it's not comfortable, but you're not in pain enough to accelerate your rehabilitation. However, if you have a leg broken, it's not comfortable for you even to go to the restroom. So you want to fix it as soon as possible. It's really, really painful. And that's how we transformed the product to smart crash tips.
Wow. And since then, the product is the same, or because you've said we changed the product a bit right now.
And many different crazy idea, because the the question was how we can measure the weight from your injured leg.
Yeah.
And since 1970s, everyone tries to measure weight by inbuilt weight sensors to shoe or insoles, and we also tried the same idea. But one day, one talent engineer from KPI, how to call it in English, I don't know, from Kiev University, he just came up with the idea, and we just figure out that yes, actually there is a moment when you make a step, there is a moment when the healthy leg goes up, and your weight at this time distributes between the assistive device and the injured leg. So if we can know the weight of the patient, we can retrospectively deduct the amount of weight that goes to the assistive device and figure out how much weight exactly goes to the injured leg. And this principle works pretty accuracy.
Yeah. So when you're starting to stand or to walk, you just need to use your crutches.
Crutches, cane, doesn't matter. Any kind of assistive device.
And they measure the first place. They measure your weight, and deducting from your 80 kilos.
You know your weight anytime that you can in a hospital.
Yeah.
They're asking you to measure your weight. So when the doctor prescribes the device to the patient, they already know how much the person weighs. That's how we can calculate what is 25%, 50, and so on, based on the program. And then the devices give you some light indication, so you know how you're walking and you can set it up. And also there is a voice assistance through the application, because you cannot walk on the crutches and hold your phone.
Yeah.
So we can also give you a voice assistant. But actually, what is this designed for? That you just have to train yourself to walk, and you don't have to really follow the recommendations for the entire day. It's just easier for you to train yourself on how to use your injured leg.
Yeah. So
20
Yes.
Basically learn, and your feedback is like lights, as I've seen on your YouTube video. It's like green.
Correct.
Lights or voice.
And
lights
voice if it's unblocked. Yeah.
Asking you to step harder on software.
And this helps people to, because first week, second week, they will you are changing the training procedure, and that helps you.
The weight bearing status changing week after week.
Yeah.
Actually, now as soon as you get this feeling, how to put the right amount of weight, it takes like 10, 20, 12 steps. Then you can go and do it pretty accurate. But the tricky thing that if you sit down and stand up, you have to learn it again, because your body will forget it. And the same thing every day. You need do this short biofeedback training for 10 seconds every time when you starting using crutches.
But is it the same 50, 25, 10% weight for everybody, or it depends on the type of injury?
Necessarily.
Everything are very different, and even with the same diagnosis, different doctors with different cases can prescribe absolutely different stories. We have one patient in Kiev. She had a huge construction, and she lost half of bones in her leg, and she had so complicated implant, and everyone was afraid because the chance that it will adapt to her body was pretty small. And in order to make this process smoothly, they asking you to walk without devices with 20% of the weight of the body for the 4 or 5 months. Wow. Yeah, and right now she can dance. So it's decreased the risk of that their adaptation will go wrong.
So
let me explain it, Sergey. I think it's not very clear. Depending on what doctor prescribes, we adjust the program that patient receives. So we have two applications, one for patient and one for doctor. And in the application for doctor, you can input all the information needed for the rehabilitation process. So it's not like sharp 25, 50, and then 100%.
Yeah. So so doctor have their like patient management system, and this is your application is a part of it. So he
Yes.
prescribes something, you learn from that, and applying this to patient like
Yeah, and then
status.
doctor can see in real time all the activity of the patient.
Yeah. In real time.
Yeah, he can see the compliance rate,
Uh-huh.
and he can call patient and say, hey, what are you doing? I said start doing small weight bearing. I see you do not walk at all, because before that, before our solution, many patients just can say, okay, yes, we did everything you said, but actually they didn't.
Yeah, and you know that, yeah. I think that's this trust issue between doctors and patients. The first thing in any type of rehabilitation that
Mhm.
I've did, but really you don't. You
Yeah,
didn't.
especially if you do not pay for this, if insurance pays for you.
Yeah, but yeah, especially yeah, insurance paid for everything done. Okay, and
I think it's a good moment to remind that we should donate to Kolo.
yeah, it's always there. If you're watching this, it's on the top left corner of yours. Use the QR code and go. And I actually have QR codes over there that are looks like that. Uh, Thanks for reminding. I always forget this because when we're talking, it's like I'm all into conversation. I need to be interrupted. Yeah, next question about how you you've started with. You've talked. You have a patient in Kiev, so you've started in Kiev, and not only production but also sales. Or there were only like testing devices, something.
Yeah, from the beginning, we provided the devices for free.
Mm-hmm.
One of our mentor in Western, he asked, "Why you didn't try to sell it?" And actually, I realized that all of them they was ready to pay in
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine, because in Ukraine nobody covers by insurance.
Yeah.
And then I just started telling them that okay, the device usage is 1,000 hryvnias per month, and everyone started pay paying for it. Then we tried to do payment to sell the devices to hospitals in Ukraine, also in Dnipro, in Dobrobut, and other
Mm-hmm.
hospitals. They also paid for it, but those solution wasn't scalable.
Mm-hmm.
Then we asked physical therapist clinics in the US to pay for it. They said we agree, but actually they didn't prescribe it a lot to the patients. So each model, each business model was to feel it that something wrong, something missing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not using like constantly. That's why uh, we decided to come to TechStars and to
Yeah.
rebuild our business model and see, okay, maybe there is another opportunities how we can build the product that will be uh, come to the massive usage. You know.
Yeah. And because it's a physical device, you have some logistics, manufacturing, all other things.
Yeah,
Uh,
we do, and
it-
we do assembly in Ukraine in Dnipro and under rockets. And their quality management system requires to do testing and
yeah.
validation of your medical device, and everything is controlled by FDA. And imagine, for example, if we say that okay, our device has 3 years lifetime value, and their the limit is 2 million steps.
Yeah.
That's that we need to do is some amount of devices, these tests. And how do you think we can do the test of 2 million steps? Give it to some people and ask them to walk 2 million steps around the stadium. No, we built a special machine, and that machine doing this amount of steps during a bombing during a month. And one time I remember it was like day 27, we almost done this test, and because of the bombing, the electricity shut down. So we need to
Oh,
start it again. Yeah, and logistic is not a big deal, but the testing processes in Ukraine it was hard for us
yeah,
because
yeah,
they're shutting down of electricity.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. So everything is built in Dnipro, and
But
yeah,
components we order from different countries.
yeah. We do,
For example, casting and molding we done in Ukraine, and also the metal the electronic boards. Do you remember
In
that?
Kiev.
Do you remember the name of the manufacturer?
Oh, give me a second.
It was so long time ago.
yeah. But it's more like you are creating this, and the issue that like I found is that sending something from Ukraine to United States right now is not the easiest part because it's more expensive than to send from China to the United States, for
Oh,
example.
look, Sergey, if this was so easy, probably everyone would have been doing it, right? So, of course, nothing here is easy. But I think that what we can do now is to help other entrepreneurs who are watching us with some advices on how to get to this point and see how we're struggling. Because mistake we're seeing in people who are like behind us is that they think, okay, I create something useful. No. Look, first mistake is that people thinking like, oh, I have a great technology, that means that I'm gonna have a lot of money. So wrong. So you need to have good solution for people. Second mistake is that, oh, I have a good solution for people, so insurance is gonna pay me. Guess what? Wrong. So maybe we're here like to answer this type of question and to help them to, adjust to the reality and do not repeat the mistakes that we were doing. Because Ilya in particular spent 3 years trying to figure out who gonna pay for that. We proved that the product is needed. We proved that the product can accelerate your rehabilitation. It's not like just my random bullshit. We have an article, scientific article, proving that it works. And now we cannot sell it because it's a part of medical industry in the United States. So that is something we would still figure out, apparently, or not, and then we're gonna fail. But hopefully, yes.
Correct.
You are learning as entrepreneurs in any case. I think my camera went off. You will learn in any way. You will succeed in any way, but how fast? It will take you 2 weeks or
Well, we're all limited for, let's say, 80 years, right?
yeah.
More or less. So it's rather be faster than not.
Yeah, that's a great to talk with healthcare people. You're like, no, you can come. Yeah. So let's answer this question. What's your? Let me form this. What you're learning from 3 years of building something in Ukraine, trying to sell it?
Sure. First of all, we learned that in general, doctors don't care about their patients' recovery, and patients don't care about their recovery, and hospitals don't care also about doctors and patients. Here is the reality. I know it's a little bit rude, but and it's not like particular case of each of the person, but in general, this is my vision because medicine is scientific proved business,
Yeah.
and come to doctor and or to hospital and say, here is the product, it will expedite recovery of your patients. they'll ask you, okay, I have this particular patient with this particular diagnosis. Can you show me the published article, published study that shows me that in this case it will expedite the recovery? And again, we have their article about the expedited recovery after tibial patellar fracture. So that means that they can trust just for this diagnosis, and you cannot expand it for other diagnoses
unless you do clinical trial.
Yes, this is the first one. The second thing, everything here in medical business is related is because of the money. Everyone wants to get money, and actually there is a way how we can earn a lot of money by expediting recovery, and this way not because of the people who wants to recover faster, and not because of doctors wants to their patients to recover faster. Because let's see the situation. For example, you work, I don't know, at a constructor company, and you broke your leg, and you sit at home. In the US, there is workers' compensation insurance that pays you a percentage of level of disability every week from your salary. For example, if you broke your finger, you'll get paid 3% of the salary. If you broke your leg, you'll get paid about 66% of your salary. So to recover faster and go to the hard work, then they can lay down at home and still get paid. From the first perspective. From the second perspective, let's say about the physical therapist clinic. Okay, if the patient recovers slowly, it's mean that they're gonna come every week. They're gonna come to you and pay for the visits, and our insurance gonna cover their visits. So why do they interesting to expedite their recovery, physical therapists? Let's talk about surgeons who did this surgery. If patients, they did the surgery, that's it. Then if the patients will start put some weight and try to expedite recovery, it will increase the risk of complications. So from their perspective, they would love to super secure their risk, and even by using our device, they will prescribe weight bearing in the way how they secure themselves, first of all. But who else could be interested in expediting recovery? The owner of the business who pays for this insurance, he wants their worker to come faster, and their workers' comp insurance, because they paying all this money. So we just figure out this, and this was super unlogical for us when we were in Ukraine, and we have no idea how their United healthcare system works. So we should always thinking, okay, who can earn or save tons of money with your solution?
Who are making money on that? Not only you, but and you're solving a great problem of speedy recovery and.
Thank you.
And speeding up the recovery, and also saving this salary. How it's called, salary when you're paying when
we're gonna save their expenses for the insurance providers that pays for their disability rate. Like, if you broke your leg, leg, and you 100% disability, and you broke it because you was on job, or you paid for your team in sport, this means that you got this injury because of your job.
But is a company the patient is working for paying when you're on this like sick leave, disability leave, this like 66% you've mentioned, or something else, or it's an insurance company?
Insurance pays for this.
And insurance paying for this and for recovery and for all the
Yes,
doctors.
medicine expenses. Yes, the owner of the business pays insurance to insurance. This disability and workers' comp insurance. It's cost. For example, I also pay for insurance for myself.
Yeah.
It's about $400 per year.
Uh-huh.
If something happens on my job because of my job,
Yeah.
the insurance gonna cover my medicine expenses and my loss of the salary because of this injury.
Okay. And the next is like, is this your device one time using, because you've mentioned it's like 2 million steps and everything else. So every patients need to get new one, or it could be reused.
No, we're renting it out.
So you can use it like,
You don't have to buy it. Like, you need it just for 4 to 6 weeks usually.
yeah.
That's why there is no point in buying this device, because it may cost up to 1,500.
Yeah,
So that's why we're just renting it out per week.
So
and it's
perfect.
touch body device like insoles, or so you can just put it to any kind of crutches or cane and take it off.
You can take in any like type of device, because it's like it's shorter in your case. It's something like yeah.
Yeah.
You can combine it. Wow, that's. I'm looking to my notes. Yeah, and what we now we're down to your story, how you met each other, how you've developed your company, and up to the state you're currently in. What's your vision, basically? What's you're trying to build in the giant helicopter view?
Well, I think it's very simple. As I told you, there is a standard procedure where after leg injury, person should go into weight bearing, right? So we want to be a part of this standard protocol. We want like every patient who needs weight bearing use our device, because this is a unique device. There is no other solution yet on the market. We want to get into that. That's the vision. And then ultimately sell the company for, I don't know, 500 million, hopefully. That's our vision.
So, any great business, you're trying to do a monopoly on something. It's you're like go.
Because of the patent we already exist, we will have this monopoly for the next 20 years in several markets where we patent this technology. But it's for all the time. And because of that, yes, it will increase our chance to have a good exit for potential buyer, and it could be like one of the biggest player of insurance here in the US, who could buy this technology in order to use this competitor advantage, or even then resell it to their competitors. This is very logical, because we can count how much money they can save. Let's say New York State. The average salary in New York State is $71K annually, and if we multiply 8 weeks and 66%, it will be 3,500. The average savings that we can reduce for the insurance per case. So, and there is 3.5 million cases in the US. So let's say New York State, if they have 100,000, they already have the opportunity to save $350 million. The second thing is how easy we can scale this solution.
But your scale is like dependent on manufacturing in the first place.
Yes, first of all, it's really easy to scale manufacturing, and the second of all, the US healthcare market is full of durable medical equipment providers, special business that just take percentage. Let's say they're gonna take 20%, and then they're gonna keep this equipment, clean it, and rent it to the patient each time when their doctors prescribe. So the scalability in the US, like in most of the businesses, are pretty cool, pretty attractive.
Because healthcare in the United States is, from the employer perspective, broken, but from the business perspective, it's unlimited almost.
Yeah.
In the case of money. Wow, that's a huge opportunity for you. And you said that uh, all other companies that are trying to solve this problem are doing this like from not from the crunches, but from food from the shoe.
Yeah, they did smart insoles, smart sandals, some embedded solution of their rate sensors to their something on your leg.
Yeah, but they like problem in a product that they're doing other way around. They don't understand how much you are putting on crunches.
Both
No, they do. They just calculate. Yeah.
both solutions are working good in order in a question about the measurement,
Yeah.
but the solution with insoles or sandals are not reusable, and the manufacturing cost will be pretty high. And then you have different size,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
okay, if it's winter or summer, would they wear the insoles or sandals with the same and everywhere? Probably not. So you cannot secure. And would they wear it at home? Probably not. So you cannot secure that all the time when patients on crutches they're gonna use it, unless our device all the time. Patients on crutches they're gonna use our device, and we're gonna track all their activity.
So you are more like the cheaper and yeah,
And
you're
really,
cheaper because you don't have the sizes, this like winter summer things. Yeah. You're the same product all the year for every person.
yeah, if we can divide the cost of manufacturing of our device by the number of potential use, the cost of the device will be $10, $10.
Wow. And you have devices in pair, so
Yes,
but you're
and
counting $10 for pair or for every different.
yes, per pair.
Uh-huh. Okay. That's great. Yeah.
So
That's
can you
huge.
imagine with $10 expensive, we can
Yeah,
save
yeah.
5,000.
Yeah.
The next steps, we just need to prove it with a couple of pilots with insurances.
Yeah.
We did pilots with hospitals, but we need to do pilots with insurances. And as soon as we prove it, I think we can commercialize our solution and have great income.
Yeah. And as any healthcare solution, you've already like have great stories how you've helped people. You've told the story about entrepreneur in Kiev or somebody who worked at construction.
If you're talking about Ukrainian guys,
I'm talking about people. Yeah, how you've helped people.
how we are helping people.
Yeah. That,
For me personally, one of the biggest question is, how much would you pay in order to quit crutches faster, 1 month faster, 1 week faster? I mean, for me, it's horrible experience. I've been on crutches twice in my life, so I'm experienced crutch walker, but I cannot sit at home and just do not be active. I love you can even can't drive a car when you're on crutches.
if
If it's not
your
electric.
broken leg is only left, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So right now, your biggest obstacle is to get into this mind of these insurance companies to accept you as a broken solution to save money for them.
I think the study itself also will be a hard deal, and to manage all this thing will be not easy. And as I told you, there are different diagnoses, and we
Yeah.
need to prove how much money and how much time we can save for each particular diagnosis. And it requires years So our goal is to create some smart way of conducting this study and to do all this stuff, I don't know, within 6 months, 8 months, in order to become,
Tomorrow.
yes, tomorrow, in
Yeah.
order to become a, proven solution for insurance providers, not when we're going to be, I don't know, 40 years old.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, just saying. Okay. Thank you, Sergey.
Yeah.
How did you go to YC?
I was like with company by U team. So the company that are building like marketplace for offshore developers.
Interesting. And how
So
they
yeah.
are?
Hmm?
What happened next?
YC is the largest channel. Like, YC company is the largest channel for your team right now. Yeah, but since then I like got dozens of companies from Ukraine who are doing this. So it's crowded market begin when
Understood.
outsource developers can sell, outsource companies can sell themselves too. So it's not like the only solution for them. But yeah, it's, and like the last year is not the greatest one. But yeah, it's quite interesting for from the accelerator point of view. They're not getting like Y Cabinet, they're not getting only companies that could expand to other markets or to new markets or healthcare, whatever. They're getting into companies that can build business on top of companies that are already
Yes.
over there in
Understood.
YC, where in YC. So Osamik is the next company who are doing this thing as well from Kiev. They're selling design departments basically, so doing the same thing. And I think the most of their clients are from YC too. So yeah,
Good. Thank you.
yeah. And you will be there for like until the end of year in the United States. So
In the middle of December,
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, you're planning to stay. But because at the December, like you will have no deals in the December, so basically you need to also be in January.
Yeah, January is the dead month. December is still alive. I mean,
Yeah. Now, from the YC point of view, I think, as I've heard, starting in the January, all the venture are like going back into business and starting to talking. So
correct, correct.
yeah.
Okay, is there any other questions that we missed?
Maybe you want to answer some question I didn't ask.
Actually, I think that if you're a young entrepreneur and you watch till this point, I encourage you to contact or me or Ilya if you have some questions, and we can answer you back. I would be very specific. It should be about medical devices or wellness devices, and you should be asking about US market. So if you're curious, feel free to contact us.
I think that the main like question you could get is to how to uh, sell device that was manufactured in Ukraine onto US market, all the get all the FDA approved and everything. Because I've mentored several startups on that case, so this is like the main question right now: how to manufacture something in Ukraine and got into market.
Well, as you see in our example, it's not as hard because we managed to do that.
Yeah, it's possible, but it requires you to have a reasonable amount of money. So you have to
And
know,
the ability to read.
yes, to raise money.
Yes.
And to read everything. Because I think with HIPAA compliance, there are already startups that are helping you get HIPAA compliance.
Yeah, there are.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's it was an opportunity. So to get HIPAA compliance, you need another startup helping you.
Sergey. Yes, was very nice talking to you.
Yeah. Thanks for your time. You're already like there. We have a day. I have an evening
Very much for the
already.
invitation to your
Yes, we
podcast.
had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Have a great day, and I will end this stream,
You
but
too.
we will
Bye
still be
bye.
there.